So I was teaching this dance class and everyone was having a real good time, but there was this one girl who didn't seem to be having such a good time, and so I went over to her and I was like, "Hey, aren't you having a good time learning these dance moves?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's fun, but I just don't feel like I'm being challenged enough." And I was like, "Oh, oh, so you're not just any girl at dance class, you're not just a beginner, you're looking for advanced techniques." And she was like, "Yeah, why can't we learn some advanced techniques?" And I was like, "Well, I'm the dance teacher, I gotta think about what's best for everyone, and not everyone's as good at dancing as you." And she was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good point." And I was like, "I would invite you to a one-on-one dance-off, but I don't know if you could keep up with me." And she was like, "Yeah, I could totally keep up with you." And I was like, "I don't know. I'm the teacher and I've taught hundreds of people on how to be the best at dancing, and you're just one student that's kind of arrogant about her dance moves, but doesn't really got what it takes to compete against me." And the girl invited me to a dance off, and so after class, everyone left and it was just me and the girl, and we turned on some music and we had this epic dance off. But after a while, I could tell that she was getting really tired. She was really breaking a sweat trying to keep up with my dance moves. I was just busting move after move, and this girl couldn't keep up, and she was like, all right, you win." And I was like, "Oh, I won what?" And the girl was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Well, I just feel like me winning has to mean something." And she was like, "All right, fine." And so we ended up going to a restaurant of my choice. It was this seafood restaurant, and I ordered some lobster and sparkling champagne for the both of us. And she was like, "No, I don't like seafood." And I was like, "Well, you better like it, because I'm a rich man and I buy the finer things in life." And she was like, "All right, fine. Let's just get this over with." You know, this seafood, it reminds me of this time when I was going fishing with my grandpa, and something bit his line, and so he was reeling it in, and man, something huge bit his line, and we were just being dragged across the lake on this motorboat, and it turns out that there was a shark that bit his line, and we ended up having to cut the line so the shark didn't capsize our ship. And the girl was like, "Oh wow, that is one crazy ass story." And I was like, "Oh, you like crazy stories? You got any crazy stories for me?" And she was like, she was talking about this one time when she was with her friend. She broke into a museum and stole this vase that they thought looked real pretty, and the security guard came and chased after them, and they had to run out of there so quickly. And I was like, "Oh wow, that is one crazy story." You know, I like my girls real edgy, and they like to take risks and be a little adventurous. And she was like, oh well, I could definitely be that girl. And I was like, all right, that sounds like fun, let's get it on. And so I ended up meeting a really fun girl that day, and it was because I'm really the man that dares to make the approaches on these women. And I'm really doing what no other man dares to do. Deep down, these men know that they want to be approaching women, but they cope and they lie to themselves. And they know deep down that they want a fun woman in their life. And I'm really the man who accepts that I want a woman in my life, and I don't numb this feeling with meaningless addiction. And so that's really all I got for the video. Goodbye.